Chan. Radiance that transcends humanity. You know, when when are we getting more eerie? I I do realize that like while Ilya and all that jazz is nice, when the fuck are we getting fucking eerie? We got eerie and we never got her again, pretty much. You just gotta support over half of our viewer. True. You know what's funny? Whatever she just said is so true, right? So she says that they must be all really stupid. Indeed, but it must be done. To be honest, I feel like I might forget too if I'm not careful. I feel this because there is a fine line between the original Holy Grail War and the shit that we are experiencing, okay? From Apocrypha to Fake Strange to Onslug to FGO. Everything is not a Holy Grail. How old is this? Damn, it's about 5 years oldish, huh? So I'm assuming it's much older than that. To be honest, we never witnessed the normal Holy Grail War to begin with. No, you're not wrong. It says, yeah, why only one instructor? There's no future. There's a dark, dirty, dandy circumstances behind that. It's still early for you to experience the adult world. The triple D. when when she talks about adult world, where she's really talking about some nasty ass circumstances. When Tyga thinks about the adult world, she be thinking about that fucking drama, re-gamble. That's a wonderful dad you have. It's actually good that she's telling us all about how Holy Grail War starts. Those who had a conflict opinions and interests, something like that. It's true. That's very important. So remember that, chat. It took 3 families to create a greater grail. Or holy grail, excuse me. Which technically is. So it says here, Eisenburnda had the alchemy to create the grail. Tosaka provided the necessary land. And then Makiri assembled the sorcery to stabilize the starting materials. Right? These motherfuckers were the first 3 to the grail. Whoa! Sante Suneri Shisusu. What the fuck? That's amazing. Sorry. It's just a nice play on word that she used and the current stance of FGO. Unfortunately, yes. I just view being a cutie. It's good. Ever, it's gonna be Wielder. Yes. Everything in the Holy Grail War, Dark Dirty Dandy. Yep. Isn't Taiga family a Yakuza? Ah. Nah. It's because we can actually talk about theories through here, right? This is mage equals mage associations versus clergyman, holy church. I won't go into details, but we basically requested the holy church to supervise the war. While the Holy Grail is created through magic, it's still a holy relic. The Holy Church has jurisdiction over holy relics, so they have a duty to supervise where the Grail ends up. The mage conquered him, saying, "Come supervise if you don't want someone who used the Grail for their own desire to win." The effect was immediate. In the Third Holy Grail War onwards, priests from the Holy Church ends up doing various kinds of works. Modifying memories of victims, manipulating mass media, covering up the damage for the battles, covering up work, Holy Church. Yeah, so yeah, she is Yakuza. But I could use my enemies too. I like the South Park ass animation there. Unable to find a suitable owner to activate it, the Holy Grail disappeared from the world. It takes 60 years for the mana to accumulate again, after which a new war will begin. See you in 60 years. So, this is important, by the way. So this is my husband Kiritsuga is participating in the Fourth Holy Grail War in 1980s. Truth is, the Battle of the Miracle has been taking place in this land for 200 years. People with dark past in a land with history, right? But why is it doing it in reason for Japan? That has to do with the ley lines. At the time, the lands with enough spiritual energy to create the Grail War were all being administered by the church. But neither the church nor the Mages Associations owned the backwater. Ainsbell owned no land here and could do nothing. And that's where Tosaka family came. So drinking wine wasn't all what he does. This is Tosaka's a family at the time that was a Japanese who specialized in Western magic. So he probably flew to the rescue upon hearing about the Grail summoning. What a foolish bunch. So that's how Holy Grail came to be. Prince of Delusion. Wouldn't that mean both lovers are blind? Hey, it's actually fucking good. What the hell? So this is a fun fact about FGO. I knew this, but I totally remembered because she said this. Right? This is a very important thing to do. The Grail hasn't been used even once. The Holy Grail hasn't yet produced a winner. Now, chat. You see the Chadmay. That's totally not the place I wanted to go. But enjoy Chadmay while I bust out the whiteboard. Little Prince, huh? Yep, Little Prince. Whiteboard app, please. Is this? Can I use this? Whiteboard? Nice. Clear the board? Yes, please. There we go. All right. We're gonna do some lore real quick. Fuck him, fighting him was a chore? I mean, he did what he did best, okay? So if you remember, the reason why FGO happens because somebody was a fucking winner, okay? FGO happens because someone won. That's an important thing to understand here, right? She tells you that even at the fourth Holy Grail War, right? Nobody technically claims it, right? And then from here on out, we're going to start talking about lore of FGO and the future from now on. So do be careful. I will start busting out spoilers. Spoiler tag. I wouldn't say season 2 spoiler alerts, but just FGO. I'm just going to put, yeah, FGO spoiler alerts. Because it's going to spoil everything, including FGO. And I kind of want to talk about 6.5. So I should actually say... including, I should say that. All right. I will get there. Once I'll start talking about 5.0, yeah, once I start talking about 5.0, I'll add it to the list. Okay? So first and foremost, you guys can't see it, so let me move that shit out of the way. So it says Grail hasn't been used once. Not once it's been used. And the Holy Grail War hasn't produced a winner yet. Now, I need every single one of you Fate fans to tell me and answer me this question. Was the Holy Grail used during the circumstances of Fate's Day night? Did the actual Grail produce a winner in the Fate Stay night sequences? I'm going to say no, but I need to make sure that my Fate Stay fans and lore people could back me up on that. because I'm certain that there was no winner there either. Okay? So, funny fact, the technical winner, right? The technical winner that we've seen so far from the Greater Grail is an Apocrypha, and that is Jeek-kun. And that was still in an irregular circumstances, right? Are we following it? Technically, Ikie declares Shiros as a winner in the Heaven's Field, though. But did he use the Grail? No. I'm just talking about a usage on the Grail. Right? Like, nobody used the Grail except Jeek-kun. Okay? In technicality, yes. You can go, Shiro is technically the winner in the Heaven's Feel. However, Heaven's Feel was, that wasn't the main circumstances, right? Like, that shit was a subplot at that moment. The only winner that we have is Jeek-kun in Apocrypha. Now, if you think that's correct, you are wrong. Why? Well, let me show you some quick dickin' history, my friends. Because if you remember FGO, and if you have read correctly on Season 1, there are technically 2 winners of FGO. That is A, Apocrypha, B, during FGO. Why? Because during the Temple of Time and during the Babylonia sequences, you would notice that there is a talk about specifically your boy winning the Holy Grail. I can't find it. Excuse me. Excuse me. Babylonia? Is it Babylonia? Ba, 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 ba. Beast fighting Ibuki. Yeah. Nope. I can't remember where the fuck they fought at. But yeah. If you do not know, they talked about it during around this time. The history, a brief history of the Solomon / the why this whole thing started. Okay, Karudea, aka Marsbedi. Let me go back to this cocksucker here. Marsbedi technically won the Holy Grail War. I cannot remember which Holy Grail War. We're gonna find out right now. Right? Marsbedi. Marsbedi won the first Fuyuki Holy Grail War in 2004 with Castor, which 2004 enlists Fate Stay. Right? Why does it say first? Because he's the first winner in the Fate in Fuyuki Holy Grail War. And that's important. He was the first winner that grabbed the Grail and used the Grail. Okay? And that's the importance of it. Alright? Because that diverges from aka Fate Stay Night and FGO. And that's important. Okay? However, it's not exactly like this. Right? You think it's like this. It's more of like that. But we'll get there shortly. Wasn't also the first Holy Grail War in Fuyuki in FGO? You are quite correct. The tutorial of your mission locates in Fuyuki. It is Singularity F. Singularity Fuyuki. You must understand that there was a singularity in Fuyuki. Right? Yeah, I figured. So FGO and Fate City are technically not on the same timeline. Yes. And no. It's 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 complicated shit, but they'll talk about it when it comes to be. Okay? Unafraid, hey, thanks for the Raider Reno Cappuccino, brother. Do be careful. I am talking about FGO spoilers. I am trying to keep it season 1-ish exclusive. So if I ever get forward, I will let you guys. Yeah, I'll warn you guys before I go talk about season 2 stuff. But I hope your farming went well. My farm has been pretty good. Still farming in the background. It's nice. But yeah, going over it one more time, right? The essentially this sequence changes everything, right? Because in episode 0, during Babylonia, all that jazz, you would confront yourself that Marusberi won the Holy Grail War in order to obtain fundings to do FGO, right? Hey, take care of yourself, my man. I hope you stay cool as well, and hope everything goes all right. Peace. Thanks for the raid again. But yeah, going back to this, this could not occur if he didn't win the Holy Grail War. Right? With the power of the Holy Grail, which interestingly enough, that instead of Media, right, Solomon came. Right? Now, you have to ask yourself, what happened? Right? Like, why? How? Why, how, and like what purpose? He could technically gone back to the very beginning of the first Grail and taken care of it. However, he specifically chose the location 2004 Fuyuki. And also, an interesting fact, too, that Saber became Salter. Now, that has been mentioned multiple times. That has been mentioned since day 1. That has been mentioned day 2. That has been mentioned since day 3. And even more so, I guess I better put fucking Aniplex, huh? Better put Aniplex in my bookmark. Ba wah wah wah, ba wah wah wah, ba wah wah. When did they bust out the second trailer, chat? There we go. Now, don't worry, Ozzy. You've seen this before. It's not a spoiler since you've already seen it. I'm not gonna go any further. Too much discussing the future of that. There's a clear sequence of a location where a saber is turning alter. Now, we still have a discussion, and a lot of people are still fighting in the forums till this day that this is Salter. Now, it definitely looks like an OG turning into Salter, in my opinion. So, a lot of people are saying that that's Salter, that's OG. To me, it's both. I think it's a little bit of a transformation happening. Because the OG's clothing looks like this. Right? OG's clothing looks like this compared to Salter, who practically has the same gimmick, right? But you'll notice slight differences. Where the classical vein structure, the burning in the background, the darkness within. But whenever you quote unquote try to enhance it as much as you can, her gloves, her attitude, her place doesn't have edges. It's more roundish, in my opinion. I don't think she has the razor edge in her gauntlet just yet. It's almost as if she's turning to stabilize this location. Because, remember, what's his face? Fuckface gave her Grail. Fuckface gave her Grail in order to stabilize the singularity. And that's important. And this is, by the way, this is all season 1 stuff, so it's not spoiler. Right? I simply thought that shot was a flashback to Singularity of Fuyuki. Yes, I think so too. But I think a little couple steps further. I think this is Fuyuki getting fucking eradicated, but using Saber, aka she's technically a Grand Saber, because you should know that by now if you don't know already. She took upon herself to use the Grail just like Lartoria did, right? Just instead of OG, she became Salter because she wanted to protect the place for her selfish reasons. Henceforth, she not became the king, but the selfish tyrant, Salter, right? And she did two things. She stabilized this location, and she essentially masked this singularity. When I say masked, if you don't know, if you play Angra Manu, if you play Demia, if you also play Saber's Interlude, Salter's Interlude, Emiya's Interlude, you will go back to the reference of Fuyuki and Singularity Double X. And Singularity X and Singularity F are pretty much the same thing. However, Singularity F works because there is a grail to be found. Singularity X is a depth beyond saving. Henceforth, Angramanyu says, we'll get back to it later. Right? Who's the fuckface? I can't remember his name. It's him. It's that guy. Referainoru. I think it's Left, right? This guy. Lev? Yeah. Leverainoru. Because if you read it correctly, he specifically tells you that he gave a grail. He, not Solomon or Gotea, he specifically gave grail to Salter. That is a thing that he has done, and that is a thing that has been mentioned before the singularity is over. Yeah. Professor Lev, aka Lev Rhino Flawless, aka the fuckface that we beat. So yeah, if you do not know, I highly recommend watching Fuyuki Interludes, which is Salter, Saber, Salter, Saber, Emiya, Demia, and who else? Who else, chat? Who else? Angramanyu. Angramanyu is the more important one. Angramanyu and Demia talks about a lot of Singularity X instead of Singularity F. And Angramanyu also talks about what's the difference between Avengers and Revengers. I'm doing good, Hiatus. Oh, actually, I'm not good. I think I'm sick. But we'll figure it out. We'll get through this, baby. We just gotta drink a lot of water, a lot of coffee, and a lot of explaining. So, do you have any questions so far? Are you still with me? Because I know by this time, I probably lost a couple of you guys, and I want to catch as much as you guys I can in order for you to understand what's going on. Hope it gets better. I am. We good? I'm good to go. Get well? I shall. Don't you worry, my friend. What is that? That is a... that is a very cute emo. I'm good. Trubs drinking explanations? No, I'm just drinking coffee. So, this is still season 1 shit, okay? And this is still a problem that hasn't been solved since we started the game. Which, this problem being solved, chat, is the season 3 of FGO, okay? And I'm not going to talk too far about how season 2 ending or what's going to fucking happen and all that jazz, but essentially, understand this. What she said is very important. Right? The Grail hasn't been even used once. Now, some people are saying, heavens feel wise, blah blah blah. I don't think that was heavens. I don't think that was the Grail. I think that was just purely Akko or Puppeteer Girl doing her, what she does best, right? Puppet Girl do what Puppet Girl does. So I don't think that has nothing to do with it. However, if, like I said, if there's any Fate Stay Night, especially in the Heavens Field directory, letting me know, it'd be nice. But Trubs didn't Kyrie and Gilgamesh use the Grail at the end of the Fate Zero. Yes, but it got interrupted by the Mage Killer Kyrie, did it not? I mean, not Kyrie, Kiritsugu. Did Kiritsugu not tell Artoria to Excalibur the fucking Grail? Yes, Saber has broken the Grail. Therefore, it hasn't been used yet. Before its true activation, Saber booty blasted it. Right? So, there was, even though Kyrie, well, and yeah, the interesting thing too, right, is that we actually haven't, going back to it, we haven't had a regular normal Grail War. Apocrypha was different. The second Holy Grail War was glitched. The third Holy Grail War was what happened at 30 Holy Grail War? There was some rulers and Angramanu problems. And then the fourth Holy Grail War, which is the Fate Zero, technically it was getting close. However, that shit got shattered. Therefore, it caused a physical bug, right? The Greater Grail was taking damage, therefore a bug has occurred, which made shit goes everywhere. And then the Fate Stay Night, depending on your whichever the route is, in the very end, it never gets fully activated, right? But here's the thing, right? Let me re-elaborate you once more. Marusuberi won the first Fuyuki Holy Grail War of 2004 with Caster. He used the Holy Grail to wish the money he needed to set up the Karudea Security Organization. Though he knew the truth about using his command spells to force his servant to commit suicide and start Heaven's Feel, he instead chose to fulfill the propaganda of the three founding families and wished for something only within this world, allowing Solomon to make his own wish and incarnate himself as a human being as Romani Akama. Right? If I remember correctly, Heaven's Feel, Ilya sacrifices herself and used the Grail's mana to perform the third magic to manifest Shiro's soul. Togo makes a pocket for that soul to go to make Shiro function again. Yeah. I mean, is that winning though? I guess that's the closest thing, right? Because that's like Ilya, who's already a fucking Grail tuner, right? Because she's a, yeah, she's essentially the Grail tuner of the original fucking thing because the original fucking thing goddamn broke. Um, it's essentially what you're saying is that the Grail tuner used some of the Grail that was inside and used it in order to manifestate such a soul to resurrect, or if not perpetuate the soul of Shiro into what's her face? What's her name? It's Toko. I always mix Akko and Toko mixed up. Toko to puppet in and then just Shaman King that bitch in there. So while Ilya did use the Grail's magic, she did not use the Holy Grail. Can we get that straight? She used the Grail's mana, but she did not use the Grail. Are we on the same page? right? Like that distinction is very important, right? Because that distinction, she did not wish upon a grail. She didn't need to. She's a fucking grail tuner. Uh, uh, um, when I say grail tuner, she has the capability to do some shit with the grail because she technically is a mini grail. Just like Sakura Mato was a dark grail, right? The black grail, aka the Mato's grail. It was the quote unquote a second makeshift grail, right? And that's what Ilya was as well. Now, I'm not very familiar with Heaven's Field, so somebody with a Heaven's Field knowledge, I'd probably have to ask Creamy about it. There are lesser grails. Yes, they're the lesser grails. You are correct. Um, yeah, so I'll probably have to get Creamy to talk about it to get a perfect confirmation on exactly what happened. But if my knowledge is correct, Ilya did not use the Grail. However, she did siphon the mana from the Grail in order to activate the necessity components of the third magic to capture Shiro's soul, if not manifestate him, in order to keep in its realm. But enough about that, because that's some Heaven's Feel spoiler shit that I'm not going into anymore. Understand that Muddsmitty would not have known about this, by the way, right? It says in 2010, he personally oversaw the demi-servant summoning program of a heroic spirit into Mash Light in order to reacted coolly to Shielder's attempt to kill him. After the heroic spirit went to hibernate and failed to awaken further, Muddsmitty nonchalantly expressed to Romani his intention to send Mash on a mission to serve as a catalyst for summoning other servants. He personally selected the masters who Mash would accompany on missions so they could use her shield to summon other servants. The team was designated as Team A, also dubbed by the Cryptors by Muddsmitty, right? And Muddsmitty technically dies in 2012, 2 years after the Demi-Servant program. He was confronted in his office by a mysterious assailant with a gun who threatened him to cancel Carudeus. As the choice was between Carudeus or his life, Muddsmitty pulled out a gun of his own and seemingly shot himself rather than letting Carudeus go. The circumstances of this death were nevertheless ambiguous enough that Sherlock Holmes suspected that it was actually a murder that was arranged to look like a suicide. Don't worry about that. Okay? Don't listen. Don't listen to that part, because shit'll get complicated real quick. Just essentially understand that he got shot. Okay? He got shot slash killed. Now, do you know what a paradox is, chat? Let me introduce you to the strongest magic, the gun. Yeah. So, yeah, do you guys know what a paradox is? Right? Paradox is one such as a person, situation, or action having seemingly contradictory qualities or phases. A statement that is seemingly contradictory or opposed to common sense and yet is perhaps true. A self contradictory statement that at first seems true. An argument that apparently derives self contradictory conclusions by valid deduction from acceptable premises. A tenant contrary to receiving upon opinion. The synonym for paradox are contradictions, dichotomy. I don't know how to say that word. I'm pretty sure I said it right. Yeah, dichotomy and incongruity. Ancient Greeks were well aware that the paradox can take us outside our usual way of thinking. They combined prefix of para, which is beyond or outside, with the verb doken, which is to think, to form a paradoxios, an adjective meaning to contrarily to expectation. Latin speakers use that word as a basis noun of paradoxium, which in English now borrowed to call it a paradox. Right? I know, it's the fifth KK movie. So just understand this. In order for you to have infinite energy, right? In order for you to have infinite energy, you need a paradox. Why? Because Earth life is insustainable permanently. Okay? It's just how it is. We are living in a finite days of finite resource with finite things. Okay? Now, if you already know where I'm going with this, ready? We're still in season 1, guys. We're still in season 1. Don't worry. I'm I'm putting my words carefully. So it is still in season 1. Okay? You ready? You need a paradox. And what is a paradox, chat? Something that contradicts. Do you know what an infinity is? Let me enlighten you on an event that we go on before Lost Belt 1. Okay? And this is why I keep telling you guys that this event is one of the most important event on your fucking life.